Good morning, everyone. It's 24th March 2017, and this is another episode of ProAMT Traders Digest. Let me go through the disclaimer first. Trading in stocks derivatives involves substantial risk of loss and not suitable for all investors. Past or simulated performance is not a guarantee of future results. All indicators, strategies shown in the video are for education purpose only. All levels discussed in this video are for understanding the study and not a recommendation to trade. Please consult your personal financial advisor before making any trade decision based on this video. We will not be responsible for any resulting profits or losses. So let's have a look at Nifty market profile chart first. So here we have a open within range, and the B period, A period, and B period. So very narrow initial balance range. C period drops below the A and B period lows and closes that extension handle. So it had opened above and uh, closes that, and then comes back within. D period breaks out. Now if you see, this has created a balance, and the point of control of A and B was here. It drops down, so the point of control shifts as well, and then when C period finally goes higher, then the point of control has shifted again back to where it was in the A period. D period breaks higher, so now you have this area as a balance. So when the auction is going higher and not getting anything, where it will come is to the point of control of the lower balance, or if it goes lower, it will come back to the point of control of higher balance. So that happens in the J period. We get a pullback low, and again the same thing, that when we are getting a pullback low in the afternoon session, there is a higher chance of a rally. If we are getting a pullback high at this time, there is a higher chance of a fall. Here we have got a pullback low. So that pullback low closes that bracket above the previous bracket high. The next bracket again makes a higher high, tries to push back down, is unable to do that, and then finally L period again gives a higher high. So we are one time framing from this period. So we one time frame down and then started one time framing up. So a two-way auction. We'll go into the 3-minute chart and see how it performed during the day. But before that, let's have a look at the background, that what it has done and how it will proceed further. So here we had a spike which is not recorded in this data. Now let's split this, and let's split this as well. So now if we consider that spike, so from that spike it has come down, and if we merge these 2 days, and consider that there was a spike and this was a continuing auction, then what we have got is two distributions. So two distinct distributions we have got if we consider this spike to be continuation of this. So this is one distribution, and let's say the value is here, and this is another distribution where the value is here. So what happens is we try to build value lower. So this is a balance lower that is rejected. It pushes into the upper value, but again falls back. So it's not getting accepted into the upper value. So today we need to see, if there are two distributions And if we leave the lower distribution and if we are accepting the higher distribution, that means the auction lower has completely failed, and there are higher chances that we again resume the uptrend and start going higher. So even like in a double distribution day, this we are combining days, but in case there is a double distribution happening on a particular day, let's get back to the normal chart. Let's have a look at any of the double distribution days. So this is one of the double distribution days. So here you have a value here and you have a value developing here. So the point of control of that value is here. The point of control of this value is somewhere here. Now the same phenomenon is happening here. It creates a balance almost like if you see this is the balance with the point of control somewhere into this zone, and then pushes through that balance and starts trading into the upper balance. Here what has happened is we have not completely rejected. It's trying to push through and makes that kind of a resistance zone. It's not able to like push higher. So next day what it does is directly opens above that. So when this is happening, the chances are that either next day it probes here and pushes higher, or if it opens higher like this, like it has opened in this case. So in this case it has opened way higher, so we wait for a retrace back into this zone, so into the point of control of this zone, to check for any supply left or not. So there is no supply here, and then again it resumes to go higher. So that is how the double distribution day works. So we need to consider them as separate distributions. So now let's go to the 3-minute chart and check what happened during the day. So we get a open above this lower balance. So there was a balance forming here, and we get a open above that. So the first priority is that we check the initiative selling which had started. So it checked that, failed, came lower. Then it goes into this low. So now this is quite mechanical, that there was a low here. So price action guys love these levels. They are protecting this cluster while breaking this. So few would have got short here, and few are getting long due mechanically thinking that it's not entering this lower area. So they would consider this high and then enter into this into speculative positions intraday. And that's why I would think that this might fail and we might go and break these lows. So when we reach here, when we reach into this upper balance, the reason for taking a short trade at this failure was that I was expecting initially coming into, so initially come into this balance mid, and there So getting in at 89 and aiming for 73 was quite a good uh, uh, probe zone. And I'm explaining this just so that everyone understands that it's just that mindset which we need to develop, that what the auction is trying to do and what is the likely probe zone. So here I'm expecting that due to a normal rotation, so it has made a high of around 93, and if I expect a rotation down of 20 to 25 points, then I'm likely to get my 16 points if I'm entering, and that is the reason to take a trade. Otherwise, this activity can be happening many times. It has it happened here again as well, so that I would again go short, but that cannot be done. So once this is done, I stay with the 50% positions, and I wait that we might still go and probe the lower zone. So we break the lows and probe lower. So I might wait for that. But now, why I exited and re entered longs, that we'll see in the Renko, because I was watching the Renko and a zipper happened and we crossed that. And that was the reason that I thought that, okay, there was another thing to lean on, that overnight high was taken out. So very less chances that the overnight low would be broken. And also, if you see here, there is no supply, but to trigger a trade based on this chart, I would require a spike down coming in and then no supply, so that I can lean on that. So there was no sign here to even like go long, and that's why I had to rely on the Renko. So finally, we got that spike up, which actually kind of failed. So a huge spike up and then a failure, and then coming back to the 50% of that spike. So we'll need to see how this spike behaves. Seems like a selling coming in to the spike. Now on the 15-minute, we can see reload here. See how the delta is going positive in this balance zone. So again, the same thing, that this balance happened, balance breakout and continue. So it broke out the balance, created a fresh balance, looked above it, failed. Chances are higher that it will come into the lower balance point of control. So it did that here, and then again went to the balance high and even crossed that with a spike. So this spike again, here also we have a spike on 15 minutes as well. So this needs to be watch for today's trade. Now let's have a look at the Renko. So here in the morning, there is a so there is a zipper at the opening itself, and then it breaks the high of the zipper as well as low of the zipper. So if I would go long here, it would be like getting caught into a trap, because my stop loss would be here and that's gone. Then what happens is we cross the zipper, so we need to enter along. So we get an impulse, a zipper, and the impulse fails. Impulse fails, but that is the reason to go short, because of the failure of the impulse. But here it would be like the failure would come a bit lower, so we'll have to like execute the trade here, which is not possible because of the very contracted range. So instead of that, what we need to lean on is, this is the point from where this thing shifted the day mid. Then this is another zipper of yesterday which we can rely upon. And yesterday also I was talking that if there is no current information, we have a look at the prior information, and this is a very valuable piece of information, that we had a zipper here. Going into that supply, failing is a short immediately and not waiting, because see, the probability is 50-50. It might work, it might not work, but we have to take that risk. The risk is defined. If it works, we are adding to one more winning trade. If it doesn't work, we are just adding up to one losing trade. And while doing my position sizing, I have already like done that assessment that I can get like even five consecutive losing trades won't harm much. So now it creates a zipper around the day mid. So what was the point to go? If this is impulse, pullback should have continued with an impulse. We should not have got, after breaking this zipper low, should not have got a positive bar. The moment that positive bar comes and that break of 9078 is a buy. So I put a trigger 9078.50. Didn't work, so I had to luckily what happened is, by the time I modify it, pulled back down again and triggered the order. Then when this was happening again, I got confused that we might not get in above this high, because when this was happening, and that was the time I said that, oh, I don't know when it will go higher. But fortunately, it gave a spike and took out the orders. So you get an impulse, pullback, impulse, which has again fallen short and come back down. So this is another balance. And we have a LVN zone again higher. So we have a LVN here which supported, and we have a LVN zone higher today as well. So now let's have a look what we can expect. So we mark this as one reference and mark this as another reference. So if we open somewhere in the middle of this range and try to push higher into the high of day before and fall back, fail from there, fall back, push into this and again try to move higher. So that is one thing that might happen. The other thing is it fails, starts pushing lower, comes into this LVN, starts accepting that LVN zone near 9100, and then makes its way lower into this lower congestion zone. If it pulls back from here, then again keep on rotating, then we might not get any um, directional move. But in case it pushes through this, then I'm expecting the break of this low and then go into this mid, check for any buying here and again come back. So kind of rotational moves all over, and otherwise start pushing lower into the 9035 zone again. That is the scenario on the downside. And now on the upside, from here it can fail, from 9140 kind of zone it can fail, and there also there are chances that we might get rotational moves. So now let's have a look at bank nifty. So same thing in bank nifty, we get a open within range, tries to probe buyer, fails, B period comes down, C period breaks the previous day low and a failure to hold that. So the moment we get a failure, it goes into the A period highs, but again fails there, comes back down, we get a weak as well as poor low. So this failure is not that good, because we have again come down and then finally it probes higher, goes above this balance and comes back down and closes above the previous day's point of control. So a prominent point of control, it tried to stall there and finally spiked up and came lower. So now when we combine these 2 days, let's see what we get. Almost a complete balance, which is incomplete on the lower side and might want to push into this 2795 zone to complete this auction. The other scenario can be that it completely like ignores this lower balance, stays above 950 and probes into the upper balance. Let's have a look at the 3 minute chart. So you get a extreme volatile move down, you get a spike, then there is no supply coming in when it tests back into this and creates a small balance. A break above that balance goes and probes the upper balance and again creates a balance there. Breaks down from that balance. So this is a spike. We can lean on this test because there is no demand coming in here. Comes back down, comes back and makes a higher low for the day on this. So we get a higher low with a spike down coming in and re-entry and break above that spike again. So this bar formation, so break above that again or a retest of that is again a buying chance for a probe into this upper balance first. So here I would be looking at like 32 points because the rotations are like very good and bigger, so easier to get 32 point when we enter into the edges. So then a channel move up goes above the channel fail, so likely to come back down. Now this is a failure that it didn't come back down and broke this low. If it would have broken this low, then that failure would be justified. So if I would have traded this and gone short based on this, would have got trapped due to this spike. So finally we get a spike up and a failure there and then resting into the upper balance itself. So it has created a upper balance into the upper balance of previous day. So it's accepting those prices, and if it keeps on accepting here in today's trade, the chances are that it will try to probe into this upper balance. Now on the 15 minute, let's see if we have clear indications there. So two bar balance, break of that again forms a two bar balance. So this, consider this as a B and no continuation. So when it's not continuing, the chances are that it will probe the high of that B. So it does that in this, creates a balance here, falls from that balance, comes into this balance, and see we don't have any closes below this. So this is the balance point of control and we don't have any closes below that. So makes its move higher. Early expectation is that it will probe into this zone, the fair price of this. So goes into that, comes back, is unable to push through that and creates this spike. Let's have a look at the Renko. So a zipper, so a nice balance here. Impulse failure, very dicey to trade on this if we would want to trade, because again it's coming into the lows, so we would consider it a weak low. But a tick failure, that's a minor reference but a very important one, that it goes down one tick, fails and gives this reverse, but there is no zipper here to lean on. So once this zipper comes, we can lean on that a break of this high is probable probe into this zone, because here you have like a zipper again to lean on. So that happens, fails there. That is also the simple pivot of yesterday. So fails there, gives a test. So again, that break is a short, and you see that M formation as well. Comes back down. Now here you have something to lean on. You have this zipper. So that zipper mid, when you see a positive bar and go long above that, comes back to test, creates that impulse, pull back, impulse, but a very zigzag move, a pullback, again a impulse. So a post this, it's a very clean move and would not take us out of the trade. So now let's see what we can expect for today. So this is what they might be looking at. So open somewhere into near the settle, try to probe higher above the eye, fail, come back down into this LV and try to push higher again. So pushes higher like this and goes into the 21080 zone. If it's not able to stay above this LVN zone, then push back into the lower balance mid. So push into this zone, uh, 20,875 kind of zone. Push back from there and create a balance, or else push lower and break the previous days and previous and day before days low, and push into the 2790 zone and decide there what it wants to do, if it wants to go further down or wants to bounce back into the range. So I think that's it for today, and we'll catch up with you all during the day. Thanks for watching and have a profitable trading day ahead.